Hey there guys, so as we know, Anthony Joshua has been cutting weight for his rematch with Andy Ruiz Jr. and furthermore he confirmed it in an interview recently that he had been slimming down in order to prepare for Andy Ruiz Jr. Now in the rematch, Anthony Joshua will bring something completely different to the table. He won't be long range boxing and using just power shots. Anthony Joshua needs to bring something else, he knows that. That is why he is slimming down. So I expect we can see Anthony Joshua moving a lot more in the fight and not necessarily fighting the same way he done last time, because ultimately if he does, there could be the same result. So Anthony Joshua will be moving a lot more, utilising the jab and trying to make sure that Andy Ruiz Jr. does not close the range, because Anthony Joshua can fight at long range, can fight at mid range, but when it gets in on the inside, that is Andy Ruiz Jr.'s game. So that's something he needs to take away from Andy Ruiz Jr. Sometimes in these fights is not necessarily adding too much to your game, because you cannot change the fundamentals of your boxing ability in the space of 3 months or 4 months. But what you can do is try and take things away from your opponent. That is what Anthony Joshua must do against Andy Ruiz Jr. Take things away. So if he can take away the inside fighting game from Andy Ruiz Jr., then he takes a big part of Andy Ruiz Jr.'s game away, and quite possibly his key to victory. So Anthony Joshua will not just be boxing on the outside. Andy Ruiz Jr. will not allow it. At some stage in the fight, Andy Ruiz Jr. will close the range. This is where Anthony Joshua can use that mid-range. Make sure that he shortens up his punches, because if he's throwing those long-range shots that are wide, then Andy Ruiz Jr. will come under them. So Anthony Joshua needs to shorten up his punches when Andy Ruiz Jr. comes in. The uppercut would be a great weapon with this also, because Andy Ruiz Jr. would walk straight onto it, because he will be trying to come under Anthony Joshua's shots and then he will walk straight onto that uppercut. That's something we didn't see in the first fight. Anthony Joshua rarely used that uppercut. He used it once in the combination that put Andy Ruiz Jr. down and then never used it again. But in the rematch, it could be a vital weapon in his victory over Andy Ruiz Jr. Plus, in the first fight, Anthony Joshua was throwing hooks and some of them were quite wide, and it made it easy for Andy Ruiz Jr. to come under them. So in the rematch, he will need to be throwing some straight shots also, straight down the pipe, because obviously Andy Ruiz Jr. is not very good coming from angles. So if he's going to be coming in straight lines, then Anthony Joshua needs to throw straight punches straight down the pipe and powerful shots also, and then that will deter Andy Ruiz Jr. from coming in. Now, as I said before, Anthony Joshua cannot change his fundamental boxing skills over the space of 4 months. He just can't do it, and he shouldn't even try, because that is the fundamentals of his boxing ability. That is what he does well. That is his bread and butter. So ultimately what he can do is add a few things and try and take a few things away from Andy Ruiz Jr. So slipping and sliding a few shots, using his feet a lot more, and the double jab. I've never really seen Anthony Joshua use a double jab, and in this fight it could be integral to his victory. I don't see this fight going 12 rounds of just boxing. I think Anthony Joshua will find something in the fight. I think perhaps Andy Ruiz Jr. will get frustrated of being on the end of a jab, and he will gamble, and then that is Anthony Joshua's opportunity, because if Andy Ruiz Jr. starts gambling, that is when Anthony Joshua needs to stay calm, and then he can try and find and land something significant. But again, when he does, he needs to make sure that Andy Ruiz Jr. is ready to go before going in for the kill. Otherwise, he risks the same fate as last time. So when he does get him hurt, pick his punches, use that jab, get behind the jab, set things up, use combinations. And as I said, when he gets into that mid-range, shorten up his punches so that it does not allow Andy Ruiz Jr. to come under those punches, because that is what he was doing last time. When Anthony Joshua got Andy Ruiz Jr. hurt, instead of backing up, Ruiz came forward, and then Anthony Joshua could not land punches on the inside because his punches were too long. Whereas if he just shortened those punches up, he could have kept Andy Ruiz Jr. on the back foot. But because Anthony Joshua was coming forward and Ruiz was also, he landed that big shot behind the ear that hurt Anthony Joshua, and that he never recovered from. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Anthony Joshua's weight cut for the rematch against Andy Ruiz Jr. Do you predict a different result? And what is your prediction for the fight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.